Hello, everyone, to all my amazing friends, my galactic brothers, my galactic sisters. I'm really excited to be on here with you guys today because I didn't think that I'd be doing a video, but obviously the universe never ceases to surprise us. And this information really needs to be given. It's time because I feel like a lot of the information that we share amongst the spiritual community wasn't meant to be shared. We were supposed to figure it out on our own. But because there's been a lag in the ascension, we need to bring everyone up to speed because there's so much more availability now in terms of information and this idea that we're just in a holographic field of existence. All of this stuff is true from one viewpoint, and from a different viewpoint, life is very real. Your kids are real. You are real. The experiences that you're having are very real. But I do want to just talk about the 3D matrix. Everything that's connected to love is real. Everything that's connected to the artificial grid system, which is the matrix, is also real because we have to lend validity to what everyone is experiencing and feeling. But please understand that there have been timelines that have been generated through reptilian consciousness, through fear, through shame, through guilt, through blame, and they've been deposited within the collective unconscious. So what happens is, even though you can create an amazing reality at an individual level, meaning you can become the master creator of your personalized reality, what stops you from manifesting that highest version of reality that you want to materialize are the collective timelines that we're all still feeding into that obstruct the flow of the universal energy. And these collective timelines are not in alignment with the highest octave of consciousness. But we keep feeding into them because every time someone gets triggered or defensive or blah, 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 they add to that collective unconscious. So if you find that you're not able to manifest on command, or to set out an intention and see it come to life, well, just know that there are probably collective timelines that are getting in the way of you doing so. These collective timelines, oftentimes we adopt them as our own. We accept them as our own. And so even though you may have fears, from one perspective, that fear is yours because you've accepted it. Just like if you were to adopt a dog, that dog is yours. But from a different viewpoint, it's not really yours. It's something that you've shaken hands with, that was already floating about the universal mind. A lot of those timelines are connected to lower vibrational reptilian consciousness. Now, I'm just using lower, even though from another viewpoint, it's a higher consciousness, because once you stand up to it and you awaken, you stop giving your power, and then you realize that that reptilian consciousness lended itself to you enhancing your powers and enhancing your truth and enhancing your extrasensory perception. So darkness is another expression of the light. There are two sides of the same coin, and it's all a matter of your perception. And I always say that when you alter your perception, you alter your dimension. And that is absolutely true, in that when you get triggered by someone, and you are able to play with different perceptions, then you realize that everything that's happening is for your growth. And your growth is determinant upon how you choose to perceive the reality that is unfolding for you and through you. So I want to stay on topic because I feel like this is truly going to help you absolve yourself of the time-space reality, of everything that's still linear, dualistic, everything that's artificial. So, you know how sometimes you will be standing at an elevator and you've pushed the button and then you push it again? Do you think that that's going to make the elevator come faster? No. Okay? So, by bringing conscious awareness to what you're doing in that moment, you're actually shining a light on that collective unconscious, where all those collective timelines were deposited to keep you asleep, to keep you in a zombified state. So when you hit the button twice, when you press that elevator button twice or 3 times, ask yourself, has this been done before? Has someone else pushed it 2-3 times? Yes. Okay. Why am I doing that? Oh, because there's something in my now moment that I'm trying to avoid. Or there is something in my now moment that I'm trying to escape from. And I'm trying to escape into something else, which is probably just a pothole in your inner road. It's like a dark pocket within yourself that is programmed. So the Matrix has programmed you, and you have all these different beliefs, you have all these different thoughts, all these different perceptions that are deeply embedded in your physical structure, in your bones, in your muscles, in your everywhere. In your DNA, you're carrying lifetimes upon lifetimes of information. You have a record, so that record has a tracking device on you. It will follow you wherever you go. So when you're at an elevator, you hit it twice. Has someone done this before? Yes. Why did I just do it? Oh, because I was getting impatient. Cool. You were getting impatient. All right. Go deeper into it. Why was I getting impatient? Oh, because I was trying to control it. Okay. And I thought that pressing it twice would make it arrive sooner. Was I delusional in that moment? Yes, I was. So, if you can actually pause yourself before you do things, take a nice deep breath, and start bringing that conscious awareness to every single thing that you do, touch, taste, feel, and interact with. Everything that you do that you're unconscious of, that you're unaware of, is like being a robot that is caught in a simulated reality. Now, those forces that are, you can call them old records that have expired, or old energies that are, fighting tooth and nail to remain relevant on this world, so they need to harvest your energy by getting you to press the button twice. They're all programs. You can look at them in different ways. That's why I tell people, we're in a simulated reality, but that's only one of millions of perspectives. Don't get too caught in that either. Life is very real. What we're experiencing is all there is, and all there is real. I mean, we don't want to discredit the experience that we're having. This is what we signed up for. This is real. So, different ways of looking at it. Some people call them demons. All right, you can call them demons if you want. I kind of steer away from that just because I just see demons as old imprints, like old records within the Akash, trauma, fear, safety issues, abandonment issues, rejection issues. And when we feed into them, the fungus grows, okay? So it's like, let's say that one person, the first person that ever existed, entertained fear because they were in survival mode. Every person that came after that could access that person's record. And if they believed the fear and adopted it, like they would adopt a dog, or they would accept that fear as their own, then they add and they energize. It's like a snowball effect. They add to that particular thought. That thought takes on a life of its own because it is consciousness. And so from one dimensional viewpoint, you could say it becomes like a beast, or it becomes a monster in a video game. And now it's like, give me more. I want to nibble and I want to chew on all these people's energies. So from one perspective, you could say it's a demon. From a different viewpoint, you can say that it's malware. Like, we have a biological computer, and then once in a while we get hacked, meaning that we agree to something that we've received in our mind, a thought, we shake hands with it, and now we've accepted the virus. Just like when you receive an email that says, "Hey, I want to send you a $10,000," and you're like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna receive $10,000," and you press OK, and then you're screwed. Yes. So it doesn't matter what we call it. It doesn't matter if you define it as a demon, if you define it as malware or a virus or a hacker or a third dimensional artificial grid system. It's a grid system that wants to keep you encased in a third dimensional reality to prevent you from coming into all that you are. From one perspective, you could say that it's blocking your access to your light. From a different perspective, you could say that it wants what you want. It wants you to look at it, face it, and vanquish it so that you can free yourself. And without that contrast, you wouldn't be able to free yourself. Yes? Okay. So, bringing awareness to all things. You get a parking ticket. You see that the parking maid or the parking enforcer is still there. Now you're wanting to get reactive. Now you're wanting to get angry and take it out on them. Take a nice deep breath. Okay, breathing in that Pleiadian blue, breathing in that Arcturian light, whatever works for you. Breathing in yourself. Breathing in the remembrance of all that you are. Breathing in the higher vibrational records that will allow you and enable you to free yourself from the matrix. Because everything already exists. But dependent upon your vibration, you're going to draw different records to you. I got a vision yesterday that when you are vibrating at a certain frequency bandwidth, a book within the library, within the Akashic Records, the living library, drops on the floor. So the book that you need is going to drop on the floor so you can pick it up. Okay? But you can attain a 12-dimensional consciousness if you wanted to. And then you'll be pulling on the most prophetic and the most brilliant books that there are in that library. Not everyone can access those because they've learned how to free themselves from that matrix. They've learned how to raise their vibrational frequency through meditation by activating their third eye, by questioning everything. Like, I do not get fixed in my viewpoint. I do not. I have to remain elastic. Always be elastic. If someone says something, there must be validity to what they're saying. Because they're a piece of God or source, and source is experiencing itself through that individual, through that vehicle. So you can listen and go, interesting, I'm receiving, and then you can connect it to different records or different star races or different galactic wars that once happened. So we don't discount anything because there's truth in everything. That person may be distorting the information because their ego is inflamed or they have unresolved stored trauma that they have intended to, but you can still go into the energetic listen and then add to your basket of knowledge. So you see the parking enforcer, you're wanting to get really angry. Okay? Has someone else been angry before? Yes. Yes? Yes. Has the parking enforcer, just placing yourself in their shoes, seen that face 1,000 million times? Yes. 1,000,000 times. So is it safe to say that if I get reactive, I'm going to look like a robot who's programmed by the third dimensional matrix, who's really just repeating history rather than rewriting history? Who's just repeating history rather than adding to history? Because we're always adding new perceptions to history from one viewpoint. From a different viewpoint, all those perceptions are already available and accessible. Okay? So what I'm learning is that time is a spiral and it will keep bringing to you experiences of the past so that you can walk through those experiences with an open heart, with more awareness, with more intelligence, with more understanding, with more compassion, with more love. So, you can call it the choice point. You see this parking officer. I'm about to get really mad and pissed off. And I'm going to tell that person off. Okay, cool. You're seeing that timeline. Has that timeline been played out before? Absolutely. Are you going to be like the rest? Boring. Don't you want to be unique? Don't you want to have your own distinctive harmonic signature? Yes, I do. Okay, cool. So the other timeline is I own up to it. I take accountability because obviously there was no money in the meter. Otherwise, he wouldn't be ticketing me. He would just be crazy if he did that. There was no money in the meter. So that's my fault. But I'm not going to fault myself, because if I fault myself, then I'm courting back into the 3D. All right? So I will decide in this choice point that's being offered to me to take a nice deep breath, align to love, align to compassion towards myself, towards that parking enforcer as well, because a lot of people have been incompassionate to them. They've judged them, they've told them off, they've shred them to pieces. Yes? So can you maybe rewrite history and rectify what other people are doing to that parking officer all day long? All right, I know I'm sharing a lot right now, but this is important. And I'm also transmitting vibrational key codes that will help you remember who you are. Because I'm not sharing new information. We know this stuff, you guys. Okay? So I'm helping you break free of the matrix, because I broke free of it, and I believe that there was a galactic committee alongside with me, or a telepathic exchange that took place, because I didn't have friends to teach me this stuff, but I had invisible friends. And we're all here together now. We're doing this together. And there are still aspects of myself that I can admittedly say that there are still aspects of myself that sometimes fall back asleep. All right? The world is your mirror. The second that you get lost and caught in the game, the mirror has dropped to the ground and you've gone unconscious. You're going unconscious again. You're falling back asleep. You have to be hyper alert of all things. You guys notice how when I'm talking, I'm constantly correcting myself. It's not correcting, I'm adding, because I'm a human. So I have to share a perspective and then come from different angles to make it right. We have to have awareness. That's what it means to be awakened. You're aware of everything. You have eyes everywhere. Okay? So you're extending compassion to that parking maid because other people have been really aggressive with them before. You open up your heart, and it doesn't matter whether they're affected by you or not. They're probably not affected by you or fazed by you because they see it all day long. But still, the right thing to do is to rewrite history. So, in that moment, you decide, okay, I hold myself accountable. I went over my time. I'm just going to swallow it. That's it. And I'm not going to get angry after the fact, because what you do afterwards is extremely important. Are you going to beat yourself up? 3D. Are you going to blame yourself? 3D. Are you going to blame, shame, guilt yourself? 3D. You're courting back. You're anchoring back into that third dimensional artificial system that wants you to be unloving towards yourself. These are old programs that have been intricately designed, just like your algorithms on your Google, all right? Take note of that. That have been intricately designed to predict you and to know what your next move is. You're constantly getting checkmated. So, you in that moment, decide I'm going to swallow it. I'm responsible for this. I went over my time. I'm going to use this experience to heal myself today, or not even, just to say, cool, done. I hold myself accountable. Next, let's go. Next time I'll have more awareness. Next, and then you drop it. That's it. Or if you're that, thrown off by it, and it completely knocks you off your stool, off of your alignment stool, well, yeah, feel your sadness all day. But don't beat yourself up. Say, I'm going to start bringing more awareness. It sucks. But don't let yourself stay there too long. In other words, it's fine. It's fine. You didn't add money to the meter. Cool, next. Cool, I'll learn. Next time I'll bring extra awareness to this. I'll set a timer on my iPhone. I'll do what I need to do to ensure that I don't get ticketed. That's it. Sometimes we wallow and we wallow and we wallow. The patterns, this is just coming to me now, the patterns that you keep circling around and you keep driving in, they're like roads in your mind. They're like your own maze. You created that maze. Okay? So how do you exit the maze? By shifting the pattern. So, start bringing awareness to these things. Do I want to be a robot? Do I want to repeat what someone else has done? Ew. Gross. I'm unique. I'm not going to repeat that. But then here's where it gets really interesting. This is when you can reach 12D and all that. Is like, when you choose to operate from love, compassion, and all of this, in other words, you make a vibrational selection that is to your benefit, as opposed to keeping you in the loop, you can also recognize that other people have done that too. So you're not that unique, but you are, because most people are still functioning within 3D, and most people are going to get livid when they receive a parking ticket. So are you going to perpetuate that cycle, or are you going to step into service to self and others and say, wow, I have an opportunity right now to sink my rainbow tentacles. Think of yourself as a squid or an octopus, and you have these shiny, glimmery rainbow tentacles. And I'm going to sink them into this situation and spread rainbow light all over it for everyone to be able to receive. The reason why most people still get super reactionary is because in many ways, the unconscious is still dominating most humans. Most of the people, it's like Harry Potter, the Muggles. Most humans are not bringing awareness. They're not holding themselves accountable yet. So it can be more difficult to access that higher wave of light or that higher timeline information because there aren't as many people walking a conscious path. That's why. But if you take that additional breath, you'll start linking yourself to a higher dimensional network of masters, of angels, of humans that graduated from these lessons, of ETs. I mean, there's no end as to how far you can go. There's no end. You can take this beyond the imagination. There's no end. You can create a whole universe and then destroy it and start again just because you want to. Okay. So, recognizing that even in your heart-based approach or response, that's been done before. That's an additional awareness. Even though the heart is the right place to be and operate from, it's also advisable to identify that as having been done before. But it's never been done through your unique vibrational signature. That's why we're constantly adding. We're adding new ingredients to the baking mix. We're adding more and more and more and more. And we're getting rid of all the ingredients that are like cheap. Nah, give me the organic honey. Give me the organic whatever flour. I don't want the old stuff. Ugh, I don't want that carbon-based molecule reality. I want the crystalline-based molecule. But how can I ever transform my carbon into crystalline if I'm still playing in that old game, if I'm still swimming in that old ocean? I need to find a new ocean. But am I going to be the one discovering it, or has it been discovered? Both. How can I do that? Oh, by checking myself. Am I pressing the button again? Do I look crazy? Not to most people, but to me or to people who are conscious, yeah. The elevator is not going to speed up for you. You have 1,000 opportunities throughout the day. 1,000 to elevate your consciousness. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to let those old traumas that were held in the collective library dictate your reality? Or can you extend compassion to those demons and to those old programs or to those old whatever, address it, because your virus is going to stay in your computer if you don't look at it. Address it. My new thing is you consolidate and then you integrate. And then you integrate. So consolidate and integrate. You take all of the things that you think you need to attend to and you rank them like a pile of leaves. Whoop, cool. All of the stuff, all the records that have yet to be cleared are right here in this pile of leaves. Now, throughout the day, I'm going to ask my universe to send me opportunities to be able to toss that in the garbage. To eradicate the virus that isn't really a virus because it taught me what I needed to wake up to. I know this is a big video for you guys. I know it because I felt it before coming online. My guide said, Phil, we love all the multidimensional stuff you do, but we also need you to be you and level with people. And I come from a place of love. And I think you guys know that. I'm literally handing you the key, which is your key that you're manifesting through me. Everything I share, I might be your own Siri. Have you thought about that? Hey Phil, can you do a YouTube video? Yes, coming right up. You're manifesting the information through me. And I'm manifesting information through all of us. Because our focus is to keep vibrating ourselves into higher and higher octaves of consciousness. But we have to keep it real. We have to get down to the nitty-gritty and look at the things that's not so comfortable. So bringing awareness to all things, to all situations, to all people, to all experiences is going to free you. Ask yourself, has this been done before? Is history replicating itself? Does it want to be replicated? Or is it asking me to rewrite it? Ooh. Now, when I rewrite it, could it be that someone else wrote it before me or rewrote it before me? Absolutely. But by rewriting it myself, I'm anchoring that energy that becomes more available for people within the soup of oneness. I'm contributing my effort to bring down a higher dimensional frequency, and because more of us are doing it, guess what? Because we're all linked within this mind at a telepathic level, we have more access to the good stuff, to the organic honeys and the organic everything. It's a mindset. And I know you guys, I can feel you guys right now. You're like, let's do this. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Indigos, crystals, rainbows, warriors, way showers, grid workers, gatekeepers, guardians, star seeds. Come on, man. Let's wake up. Let's wake up. All right? I love you guys. Thank you for sharing this video. I feel like it's going to be a big one. Thank you for subscribing. That means a lot to me because I'm always up for doing more videos when I see that people are interested and are aware enough to click the subscribe button. I want to work with people. I want to collaborate with people who are aware. You've got me, I've got you. Scratch my back, I scratch your back. We bring awareness to everything here. So thank you for subscribing, for sharing, for commenting. Also, I have a sale on all of my webinars. I have like 6 webinars. And you can utilize the promo code to redeem 20% off until Easter Day. The promo code is Easter19. I'll attach a link below, but my website is vimeo.com/feelgoodlife. Vimeo.com/feelgoodlife, or you can do feelgoodlife.com/webinars. Either of those work, and then you can input Easter19, all caps, and get 20% off any of my webinars, which takes it down to like $19. And they're amazing. They're like this times 3. All right? I love you guys so much. I will see you soon.